You have been given full access to the Players Lounge on the Sports Jock Show with Wayne Gandy.
Dancing, dancing, dancing. She's a dancing machine.
Oh, baby, move it, baby. Automatic, systematic, full of color, self-contained. Tuned and gentle to your vibes.
Welcome back to the Sports Jock Show, where we're looking for polyester bell bottoms and platform shoes to go along with that kind of music there. We are here, the Sports Jock Show, Sports Jock Studios, Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about a lot of variety of things here on the show. We've had from cowboys and what was it, Cowboy
Black
Bill?
Rodeo, yeah.
The Black Rodeo. We talk all kinds of tattooing. One thing we have never talked about, which has been a big thing, especially for athletes, has been ballroom dancing, a la Dancing with the Stars. I'm going over the list here. I see that Emmitt Smith, the famous cowboy running back, he was the first athlete to win Dancing with the Stars, season 3. Apollo Anton Ono, the speed skater, season 4 winner. As you go through the list, there have been a lot of athletes around to the final 2 or 3 teams throughout history of Dancing with the Stars. I know my good friend Hines Ward won this event. We had him on talking about he won season 12 of Dancing with the Stars. It's a popular show. It's a show that every year definitely has at least 2 athletes, whether it be major sports as football, basketball, baseball, or minor sports as speed skating and ballerinas. And I think that everyone has been definitely shocked of the success that the athletes, which is crazy because dancing takes an athletic temperament. It takes athleticism for some of the moves as far as flexibility and timing. So I'm always shocked that people are like, how can an athlete do this? His whole job is timing. You got 3 seconds to run up 8 yards and come back. So they're very well coachable if you try to get an athlete, and they work hard. And I'm quite sure all those attributes help with becoming a better dancer, especially ballroom dancing and learning those technical dances. We are blessed here at the show today to have Antonio Daza. Is that how you say it?
That's correct.
Daza. See, I got it right, Big Ken. I've been taking those classes to help me.
We rehearsed it 9 times. I'm glad.
Antonio is from Venezuela. As he says on here, the Caribbean Sea city. It's a small city, Valencia, small town in Venezuela. I'm quite sure it's probably bigger than Haines City. But
you never know.
You never know.
It might be the Venezuelan Haines City.
He moved here to the States in 2003 with his family. Political, economic, and social changes forced that. And he has been nice enough to come on the show and talk about ballroom dancing that I see has been around since the 16th century. I always, kind of like we talked about yesterday with the air guitar, Antonio, I always thought I could waltz in my mind. You know how you just know you would have been da, 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 and knowing that, man, after the 3rd step, I would have been lost. They'd have been like, get out the line. Good morning to you, Antonio.
Well, good morning, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come to your show and explain a little bit more about what ballroom dancing is and really what are some of the benefits that people can gain out of this sport. Because it definitely, like you say, has all the characteristics to be considered a sport because of all the physical benefits, the mental benefits, and the skills that are required to do something like this. So it's awesome.
And outside of our country, because we have been treating the Dancing with the Stars thing as though the dance just started 10, 12 years ago, this is a very competitive event in other countries.
Oh yes, it is. It is. There are. I mean, basically in the U.S. you can find a competition almost every weekend.
Really?
Yes. In every city there's always something going on about ballroom dancing, but also internationally it's a big deal right now. And in South America, I mean, I actually didn't know it was that big until I came to the United States. In Venezuela, dancing is a big part of what we do. Since we were kids, we're always thrown on the dance floor and just dancing with our parents and, you know, social dancing, salsa, merengue, bachata, all those kinds of things. So
Yeah, all they teach here is to twerk.
that's right. That's right. So
And that's all right. That's all right for America. We got apple pie and the twerk.
Antonio, let me ask you this: what is if you were teaching the most common aspect that is the hardest to teach someone, that you see that, you know, some people get it, but most people it's hard for them to get in ballroom dancing?
well, I'm going to give you my top three.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing is the coordination, physical coordination between holding posture and moving your feet and you know that kind of thing. You know, between the action between your arms and your legs and what you have to do. And another thing is then once you get that, and then just trying to connect with your partner, meaning the leader trying to send a message and communicate without actually saying it, just communicate with the partner through movement. At the same time, you are executing your own action.
So you're saying that when these two people are dancing, somebody is throwing a sign, a gang sign up to tell, you know, how to...
No, there are no signs at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. So the leader is supposed to tell the partner what movements that person is supposed to do or how to react. So it's basically like having a conversation on the floor. You just don't talk about it. You just learn how to send signals. But for the leader, especially, it's more difficult because you have to do your thing at the same time you're telling the follower what he or she is supposed to do within the next 2 or 3 beats of music.
Okay.
All right. And the third thing is that after you get that down, is to be able to connect with the music. It's just understanding what are the beats of music, what is the speed, all of that. Because you can be a really good dancer, you can follow the patterns, you can learn all the figures, you can communicate with your partner, but if you're dancing off time, then that defeats the point. So I think that's my top 3 things.
Big Kenny?
Antonio, since you are from Venezuela, I will be asking all of my questions in my horrible Spanish accent.
Okay.
No, you said that it's definitely a sport, and in other countries such as Venezuela, it's widely accepted as a spectator sport. It's part of your culture.
Yes.
Are there sponsorship opportunities like there are for American athletes with endorsing products and clothing, things like that?
Unfortunately not, at least not in South America. Because partnership dancing is such a big part of our culture that is not seen so much as a sport as it is here or in Europe. It's what we do.
Right.
Or like in Argentina, for example, Argentine tango is a big part of their culture. So it's not recognized so much as a sport. But here in the U.S., there are some ballroom dance companies, like the people that do the shoes, the dresses, and the tuxes, and all the stuff. They do sponsor their dancers, you know, with the products that they make.
Have shows like Dancing with the Stars, kind of how Tiger Woods brought golf to people, act like he was the first golfer, and golf had been around 100 years. Has Dancing with the Stars and things like How I Think I Can Dance made your sport more interesting and more people want to do it?
I think so. I believe so. I think the most important benefit of shows like Dancing with the Stars or So You Think You Can Dance is the fact that it have made it more stream, and then now younger generations are more interested in it. Because ballroom dancing, I mean, in all honesty, used to be a sport for the retired community, people that, you know, didn't have much to do. They just did ballroom dancing, and they have money to do it. Because, you know, in all honesty, it's not a cheap sport to do. So now with Dancing with the Stars and So You Think You Can Dance, and the young people are more interested in do it, and they see that they can dance to the music that they're actually listening to in Spotify and the radio, and so it has made it more interesting for them, and it's hot. I mean, in all honesty, it's just hot. You go to the clubs and you knowing how to dance salsa dance. I mean, you know that you're gonna get the attention of everybody.
Yeah, nothing pulls the ladies like breaking out a salsa dance.
That's right.
Antonio, let me ask you, what are the recurring injuries of ballroom dancing?
We see a lot of knee injuries and a lot of ankle injuries because of the continuing hitting against the floor. Even though most of dance studios now are required to have floating floors, still, that's one of the most common injuries, especially on the professionals, which are the people that do it all the time. Students that come once or twice a week for 45 minutes, they don't get injured as much.
Is it you ever seen a fight break out over who wants to lead? Like two people, hey, I'm the leader, and they know.
Every day.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, every single day. It's hard to, especially with married couples, it's hard to determine the roles, and sometimes for the wives to give up some of the control in the partnership, it's very difficult. So it takes a lot of time to get to that point where they understand that just because they're followers, they're not less important than the leader. But somebody's got to make the decisions, and you can't have it two
If you've
people.
ever tried to salsa dance, or in Chicago, stepping is popular. If
Right.
you ever try and walk up to a woman and dance that way in a club, the first issue you have is, hey, let me lead. I got this. They always want to take the lead.
So as you're saying, ballroom dancing is like marriage.
Exactly. Exactly. It comes with injuries and everything.
Well, thank you, Antonio, for coming on, helping us out, and hopefully we'll get you on again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Can you imagine the sports shop doing the waltz?
We will see this coming winter.
We'll be back with more of the Sports Jock Show right after this.
To listen to us on the go, search for AM 1100 on iHeartRadio or download our app at thesportsjoc.com.